Today I'd like to talk to you about the unboxing and the quick review of the Pockelite F7. Motor racing might be F1, this is the F7. It's a RGB, red, green, blue LED portable light. Call it the Pockelite. Cost $102. I got it because I need a little fill light. At the moment I've got the El Cheapo ring LED light that you see from Selfish, from Target, that sort of thing. Trouble with that is, I normally just have the windows open, but in this series on the unboxing and the video reviews, it was black equipment, so I needed something to be able to see what I'm talking about. But the trouble with the ring light is, as you can see, if you wear glasses, you tilt your head up, all what you can see is the ring is the light reflected in your glasses. If I had a circular polarizer on the camera, I might be able to cut that down a bit, but the video camera that I'm using doesn't really allow that. I thought I might get a little smaller light that's portable and I can take it away with me and I can just use it to give a little bit of accent here and there, or just to lighten up the shadows. That's the main reason. There are different brands, different price ranges. Some are fantastic, some are El Cheapo, some are crap. It's hard really to decide, so it gets down to what it can do, how much it costs, how bright it is and all that. So basically bang for buck. So let's just open her up. As you can see, these aren't pre-rehearsed. Now let's give some of the specs of what they call it. It says it's designed by Pockelite in China. It's a Pockelite F7 RGB LED light. This kit comes with a diffuser and grid. And here it says new packaging. I don't know what the old one was like. Has an output of 12 watts. It's got an input of 5 to 15 volts, 2 amp. Got a colour temperature of 2500 Kelvin to 9000 Kelvin. Got a CIR rating of 96, and at 1 foot, the lux is 5230. Most things, dB and all that, sort of measured at 1 metre. At 1 metre, it's only 295 lux. So they give you a 0.3 of a metre, 300 millimetres, 30 centimetres or a foot, 5,230. But 1 metre away, it drops down to 295. So you're not going to light up the runway for this. The battery capacity is 7.4 volts. If it's 3,000 milliamps. To get your usage, you can divide the watts by voltage, gives you the amps, and then you divide that by how many amp hour it is. If it's 3,000 milliamps hour and it's 3 amps, it will last an hour. So that's how you work it out. It weighs 298 grams, around 300. It's 155 millimetre, 80 millimetre by 15. USB charging point, and it supports a quick charge 3. It's got 20 special effects in it, lighting effects, police lights, TV, and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see. Okay, we'll open her up now. There's the light itself. If you can see, when they say RGB, and you might see RGB plus WW, what the bloody hell is WW? Well, that's white. And what that means is that if you ever bought your LED lights for inside your house, you can have daylight or the warm. One's got a yellow tinge, one's got the bluish daylight tinge. So when they say WW, it's a yellow LED and a white LED. And the RGB is an LED that can give you a variety of colours by changing just like on your computer, 256, 256, 256. In Photoshop, gives you different colours. That's what the RGB does. So they have different LEDs to do that. So in this one, it's got 96 RGB LEDs. It's got 54 white LEDs and 54 white yellow LEDs. So warm and cold LEDs. They're half a watt each. Now the beam angle is 110 degrees and you can dim it, and it's got 100 steps of dimming. So that's the actual light. This is the back. 1 button to adjust the screws, a quarter mount, your USB. It's supposed to have a magnet in it. So let's just have a look. Okay. Magnet. Okay, where's the magnet? See where the magnet is? No magnet. No, okay. Magnet's in that corner. Magnet's in that corner. Oh, magnet up the top. Just don't cut your finger off. A magnet there, magnet's in there. So I would say North Pole, South Pole, so when they sit on top of each other you could click them up. So that's also good. If you got a beam or something you're working on, you can just plug it on, or engineering workshop on your machine, you can put that anywhere on the big cast iron steel machine. This little light to bring the highlight up. So that's the light itself. Aluminium body, perhaps a plastic back, little screen. That's a list of all the effects it has. Police car, ambulance, fire truck. Now it depends on what country you are. They have different lights for those emergency vehicles. So probably American. Touch that on the back, and then when you go through the menu you know which one you've got. Here's the manual. English and Chinese 50-50 as you go along. It's got the description of the parts but they're in Chinese. The numbers are in English. Nice neoprene bag. Belt on there, on your arm, on your leg, on your backpack. So that's not bad. But see how tightly it fits. Now that's got room in the bag for your accessories. However, it may end up scratching them. So we've got the bag. Flash mount bracket, USB charging cable, and a nice plastic clip to keep it organised. Only trouble is, as you saw, it becomes too high, whereas if you undo it you can make a big O. Now this is the magic arm, got a different design. I'll undo it. Some of them have a groove. I've been putting the groove on the board, but I think the groove would be better. Bracket here. And they have an O-ring. So what that does is that, just say you've got your magic arm coming up and your monitor sitting in there and you want to adjust it. As soon as you loosen it off, the gravity pulls it all down. There's no drag. So with the rubber mounts, they help you to keep it up in position, and then you can half undo it and then push it back. So these are probably easier to make, quicker to make, and we'll see how well they work without slipping. Now what's the advantage of, say, this over this? Well, that's in a fixed position. This can then tilt. You have to tilt and in the 190-degree axis, so it's not like that. It's like that and like that. So you can tilt there and then go there. But that's included. That's why I got the kit. There's, like everyone, there's a million different kits. Some have these, some don't. Some on eBay will show you this. Down the bottom, it'll only have just a light. You have to ignore the photos and check and ask them and all that. And also in the kit, diffuser, then your honeycomb. So that's what you get for $102. There's a little OLD down there, saying it's got half the battery power. This is set at 9,000K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 35, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, fairly bright. LED ring light. It's enough to blind you looking at it. It's supposed to fit like that. Okay. This button's not a thumb wheel button, it's a click, click, click button. So it's click for hue, click for saturation. Hold the button down and it fast forwards. So let's go at 0 saturation. That's 100. Also a menu click reset button. And as you can see, I haven't played around with it, just got it out of the box. It still stands up, which is good. One of the main reasons why, like I said, I use a ring light, everyone these days is black. When I'm pointing out something, there's that, there's that, there's that. You can't see it, it's all black. So I got the ring light, lighten this up a bit easier to see. And when you're looking at your monitor on your camera a metre away, screen's only, there it is, it's only that big. So it's hard to say what's shown and what's not. You can have a highlight. And then you can put that light out of shot. Then you can increase it. So then I can say, what about this? About this, and you can see all this. Oh yeah, there's that there, and that's there. The reason why I've got the Field World 7-inch monitor, so as if that's sitting on top of the camera, I can see what's going on. The only trouble is, always trouble, the only trouble is the Sony camcorder I've got, it's a 4K camcorder. If you have the HDMI connected to it, to your monitor, to see what's going on, as soon as you hit record, the picture goes. It says it cannot display 4K through HDMI whilst recording. I think that's to stop them from putting a recorder on it and buy a cheaper camera and move it up. So that's
why I've got this to fit on GH5, and then the roles will be reversed and I'll be able to get a few better shots. So $100 as opposed to $20 for I think I made $28 for a ring light and tripod. Other thing too is that I've got a slider, and this will be able to just mount on the slider and move along with the camera, and there's no extra cables, wires, too big a ring light, that sort of thing. And it's 100%. Let's see what angle. So that's the sort of light spread, and that's the light spread. We'll take the honeycomb off. Fuse there on. Even though here is looking even, but this is a Laminex top and it's got a satin finish to it, let's say. So that's more reflection in this of the light in the satin. There is a little hot spot there, a big hot spot. You can see the reflection in the Laminex. That's at 4%. You'll be able to pick this up better when press the button, it goes to the scene, which is the green previously set, then press it again and it's off. It's got scene off there. On off button, press for 1.5 seconds to on off. The menu page will show the colour, temperature, intensity after the light turn on. Press button again to the menu page. Second page is showing the HSI and the third page is showing special effects. When it shows you scene off, you have to select the scene you want. There'll be some strobing for those people who are affected by strobing. Sorry about that. So when it's on scene off, 20 RGB ZZZ. So RGB ZZ. Strobe 2090. Okay, that's hard. 18's the party. Hey, it's party 2. Put something in here. So that's just flashing red, green, blue, and then the mixture of it. So what was party 18, party 2? That looks the same effect, but just sped up. Scene 16, blue flash. Scene 15, okay, green flash, red flash, double flash. I can't tell any difference between the timing, so it just looks like a constant flash. Scene 12, high and low beam, okay. So that's supposed to be a car headlight flashing at you. So low beam, high beam. That's a strobe. I won't keep that going too long because it affects people. That's a paparazzi. So, timer for your special effects. Next one's a candle. Not really, the intensity is going up and down, but it's not really flickering like a candle does. Like if I put a CGI candle in that scene, you wouldn't think it was a candle. Is it a TV screen? HS, it's about 8 points, it's a bit hard to read. Fast. So that's the colours fast. Okay, this is black. Go stand out your window and get the rumbles. But that only works if it's different. It's non-repeating. 1 to 3, 1 to 3. That was a bit different. Scene 4 is lightning again, but a bit slower, a bit more intense. Maybe a bit of loud thunder effects. I might put some in later. Here comes a fire truck. So just tell me if this is the fire truck in your country. Red, white, red, white. We used to have the rotating lights used to be red,
Police used to be blue, so they go for the flash LEDs now. So if that's a fire truck in your area, great. Here's an ambulance. Now this ambulance is blue and white. And the last one is the police. The police here are blue and red. I don't know which country that is, but the intensity was making any difference. If you're using it as a RGB WW light, you can then adjust the intensity. But if you're using it for a special effects light, I think you'll have to pull it further away to change intensity. On the sticker, it's got the shades, but then it's got the degrees. It's got 0, 360 up the top for the red. On the little hue marker there, it's got the degrees, that's 359, so that's red. So if we come to 120, it should be green. There's 120, and 240 should be the blue. There it is. And then the saturation is just the brightness of it, the intensity of it. If you leave your saturation at 100, so that's the purity of the colour, then press again, it'll go back to the hue. Then you can use the guide here to adjust the colour, and then you can then adjust your brightness how you like. So what you could do is get a sheet of white paper, put your light on it, adjust the hue and the saturation, take a photo of it, go into Photoshop, open up your photo with the colour picker and just look at the RGB hue saturation value. And it might give you an idea of how far it's out, how accurate it is, and if you want to get a certain colour look, Cadbury chocolate violet or whatever, you can do it that way and adjust it. So far I'm quite impressed with it. So far it's well made. It's rolling, it's solid, the screen's easy enough to read. It's 1/3 of a kilo. I think it will be worth carrying around in your kit with you. Mine's got a bit of a sloppy thread in there, decent depth of thread. So then you might say, well, you can't tilt the light. So if you can't tilt the light, you need to tighten that up to be able to screw the ball in. I'm just waiting for the day when they finally get their brains together and have like miniature NATO rails, dovetails. So instead of the screw thread, you have a little dovetail there. They can be 6mm dovetail, 8mm dovetail, 10mm, depends on how thick anything is. In all my other videos, I mentioned about screw threads and right-hand screw threads. Lots of things, you tighten them up, and if you tap them, they come loose. Because you have the two threads, you have the two nuts. The nut's the body, you squeeze it up. Now when that pushes that way, that's tight. Tap it the other way, it's just moving away from the nut. So what happens is, if you mount this on the other side of the camera, it may be on the loosening side. So gravity always loosens it. But then when it's on the other side, gravity may always be tightening it. Because as you screw into here, that's tightening it. So coming this way will loosen it. As you tighten it this way, because the threads, they're the same, but they travel in that direction. So that's loosening there, that's tightening there. So then when you put it this way, gravity will tighten. So depending on what you're putting on and where, it may have to go on the other side. So it always gets loose. Well, you may have to tighten it. And this is the trouble with arms and all that. Just dropping around on the balls. Good idea, but is not quite there yet. That's where rosettes are a great solution. You have your RE rosettes and you have your DJI rosettes, and I've machined up a couple myself. So you just have a plate there, it's just got the teeth in it, click, 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 nip it up. So keeping things vertical helps a lot better. Can mount on your camera quite well. So that's a Pockelite F7 RGB LED light for $102. I think it's done quite a good job. So if you've got any questions, subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.